Excel 2016, Module 8, pages 466 to 470. On page 466, working with logical functions. All right, obviously you need to go open your file and do your F12 so that you can name it exactly what's in the book. You've done this how many times now? And then go to the documentation worksheet and enter your name and the date. I don't think you need any help with any of that anymore. All right, step number 3, go to the employee data worksheet. The worksheet contains an Excel table named Employee Table. Okay, you're going to be using this throughout the entire chapter. It includes each employee's ID, last name, first name, hire date, years of service, birthday, age, store, job status, and current salary. Scroll down and to the right, and you'll see that the employee ID and last name disappear as you scroll to the right. Go back up to the top and go to cell C2. Okay? Freeze the panes so that column A and B remain on your screen. Do you remember how to freeze panes? It's really easy, right? View, freeze panes, freeze panes. Now when you scroll to the right, you'll see that the employee ID and last name stay visible. Okay, there's a lot of reading in this chapter. If you skip it, you are going to be doing yourself a great disservice and hurting your grade, because these are not necessarily easy functions. They're not hard, but they're also not easy. They're kind of in the middle of the road, but you have to be able to read them correctly to understand what you're doing. So read on page 467 about inserting calculated columns in an Excel table, and then at the bottom and on the next page about using the if function. There's quite a bit of reading, but you really need to do it so that you understand the syntax of an if formula. Okay? All right, to determine which employees have birthdays in the specified month, in cell K1, enter birthday month and press your enter key. The Excel table expands to include this column and applies the table formatting to all the rows in the new column, which is awesome because it means I don't have to do it. Make sure that cell K2 is still active. Okay? We're going to go insert function. Now, your book is going to tell you through the entire chapter to go through all these steps to find your functions. Here's the truth. See where it says search for a function? They tell you what function it is. It's if. Type it in and press your enter key, and the formula is going to pop right up to the top. Right? Double click it, and you're set. So again, through this entire chapter, your book is going to take you through all these steps to hunt down your formulas. Just type in the name of it and press your enter key. Okay, it'll search for it and bring it up for you. All right, step number 4. In the logical logical test box, type. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. This is probably the hardest part of the chapter is the darn typing, because it is exact. You cannot make one mistake in this or it kills the whole thing. I know because I've made a lot. So we have to type it in exactly like they say. So month, open paren, F2, closed paren, equals, single quote, data table, single quote. Now, what's going to happen is this formula is going to get too big for this box, and you're not going to be able to read it all. And this is going to happen throughout the entire chapter. And because we have to be so precise, what you want to do is you want to hit this collapse button, because that's going to give you all this room, and you'll be able to see the entire formula. And it's just a toggle switch, so you can pop back and forth. But this is a good trick for the rest of the chapter to make sure you do that. And now I talked, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be typing after I just told you how important it is not to make a mistake. All right, so I have month. I wish you guys could tell me if I make a mistake. Open paren, F2, closed paren, equals, single quote, data space tables, single quote, exclamation point, the absolute value of E16. Okay, do yourself a huge favor and stop right now and check this against your textbook, because I had to redo this video because I left out that parenthesis right there. One tiny mistake like that, and they're really hard to find when you're on your own doing it by yourself. It's always easy to see somebody else's errors, right? So make sure you get that whole thing typed in, and it's going to say true right here. Okay? This condition tests whether the employee's birth month is equal to the month specified in cell E16 of the data tables worksheet. The function month returns the month number of the date specified in cell F2. True appears to the right of the logical test argument box, indicating this employee has a birthday in the specified month. Step number 5, in the value if true box, right there, type yes. Good, a nice easy word I can spell. And then press your tab key. This argument specifies that if the condition is true, the employee's birth month matches the value in cell E16 of the data tables worksheet, display yes as the formula result. The value to the right of the value if true argument box is yes because the condition is true. Notice that Excel inserts quotation marks around the text value because you did not include them. You didn't include them because they didn't tell you to, because they just wanted you to see that Excel will do it for you. Step number 6. In the value if false box, type quote, quote. Now you have to use your shift key on this quote, and you cannot have a space in between them. That means nothing. Put nothing in the cell, okay? This argument specifies that if the condition is false, the employee's birth month does not match the value in cell E16 of the data tables worksheet, display nothing in cell K2. The value to the right of the value if false argument box just shows your two sets of quotation marks, which indicates that cell K2 appears blank if the condition is false. Please remember, leave the cell blank. In order to do that, you put in two sets of quotation marks with no space in between them. Just quote, quote real quick, and they're the double quotes, which means you have to use your shift key to do it, not the single quotes, okay? So when you put in just quote, quote, that says do not put anything in that cell if that particular value is returned, it's false, right? So you want nothing there. So flip the page. All right, click OK. The formula equals if month, you can read the whole thing yourself, it's very long, appears in the formula bar, and yes appears in cell K2 because the condition is true. The formula is automatically copied to all cells in column K of the table, which once again, another big yay about working in tables is we didn't have to copy it, we didn't have to do anything, did we? So that's excellent. Okay, go ahead and save this and you're ready to move on to your next video.